Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the Pleasure Points Podcast. I'm your host, James Rohr. Most people call me Jim. You can call me whatever you like.
I'm Jen. Most people call me Jen. Unless you knew me from when I was a kid, in which case you call me Jenny.
Jen's here.
Hello.
We've got a great show talking about biohacking your health, how to take your health to the next level, reverse aging, get rid of those pesky accumulations of fat that are happening in the body, and to feel great
And younger.
and younger. Feel
Goal
younger.
is to live until you're 95 and feel like you're 25.
And to be hot the whole time. Enjoy the show. Yeah, baby. Feeling good. How about you, Jen? So glad that you're here.
I'm feeling great.
It's been a couple weeks since we've been back from Utah at doTERRA's annual convention. It was good times had by all.
It was. I always love going out there. It's just so nice to it's something that I feel is many parts of my life. And I think we talked about this in a previous episode about how I'm an only child. To have community of people that are like-minded, that are on the same mission as you, of just being healthy and like transforming the planet. There's something that is so comforting to be around a group of people that are on the same mission as you.
Totally.
I don't take it for granted at all. It's so refreshing every time we go and we get to be with our people and just celebrate life. It's just freaking awesome.
Totally. And like, I always get so inspired hearing all the things that doTERRA does, like quote unquote behind the bottle, with their like sourcing, with the farmers. And like, we've been around long enough and had success enough that we've been able to like be backstage. You spoke on the main stage, which was awesome. And to be able to talk to the farmers and the people whose lives are impacted when we buy Spanish sage or when we buy eucalyptus or any of the things that we do with doTERRA. Like, we get to vote with our dollars for the kind of world that we want to live in. And I have never seen a company like doTERRA when it comes to their philanthropy, how it's just embedded all the way like in everything that they do to help the most people around the world.
It's incredible. Honestly, I've never seen a company like it before. I didn't even think that it could be true that they exist. Really, they do a great job. And I'm always inspired when I go there, not just by, doTERRA as a company, but really the individuals that, that are a part of the community. I find myself, in conversations or meeting people that I'm utterly fascinated by what they do, how they live their life, and I want to be like them. And it's not very many circles that I can go into where I can say that I'm really, truly inspired by other people. That like I want to be just like them. I want to hang out with them. I want to live their life. It's like, it's pretty cool to be surrounded by that.
Yeah, and with that credo of like, how do we help the most people around the world, and especially kind of like what's implied in that is help the most people get out of poverty.
Yeah.
Help the most people feel sovereign. I mean, there's studies that have been done on wealth, and the thing that seems to drive happiness more so than how much money you have is like control over your time. How much autonomy you feel you have in your life. Like, once your basic needs are met, the next sort of valuation is my time mine, or does it belong to somebody else? And when it's like, it makes sense that doTERRA would choose to be a network marketing company, to have that as their primary marketing arm, because that also provides the opportunity to help the most people liberate themselves from, whatever financial situation they're in to wherever they want to go.
For sure. And, obviously, like many people, had a bad experience with network marketing or a bad taste in my mouth before I started doTERRA. And so I was always a little skeptical when we first started, or, buying just as a customer with the company of like, what's this going to be like? And after really understanding the company and understanding the model, it just makes total sense why it is direct selling. Because if you think about it, like in a corporate structure, if someone is really passionate and they do a great job researching all of the oils or all the natural things, and they want to go work somewhere, like let's just say they want to work at Whole Foods, in the supplement aisle, where they get to help people recommend different herbs, tonics, different things, or work for themselves, right? But in the Whole Foods example, Whole Foods is never going to pay them more than like $15 an hour or whatever, maybe $20 an hour. I'm not sure what they get paid, but it's not going to be nearly anything greater than like the CEO or the district managers or any of the top people in Whole Foods. Like, it's just impossible. Like, in order for that person in the supplements aisle to become like, to make tons of money at Whole Foods, like, they would have to bypass they would have to get promotions above their bosses, which just never would happen in the real world. Like, no one's going to promote like the new kid on the block. But with network marketing, what's so cool is that someone can just make their own fortune. Like, they can just decide what they're going to do, and they don't need a boss. They don't need someone to tell them what to do. They can just do it. Well, and I love that.
Yeah, the thing that I love, the thing that's really cool for us, is that when people join, with us, we get the opportunity to help them. We get the opportunity to be really useful to them, to answer questions, get on calls, invite them to our team calls. All this kind of back end stuff that we've created over the years of, like being able to ask the whole group kind of like, how do you navigate this health situation? Or have you seen this before? What do you guys use this for? Like, this whole arsenal of tools and resources that we have become available for like the people that we get to serve and support. And that's just so different than someone coming into a shop and then being like, buy peppermint, and then like never again.
Right.
Or like there's no incentive to remain and to keep a relationship and to be supportive.
Right.
And so I love that. And it's really, the gift has been getting a community that I didn't even know I was missing, or, that I was wanting, that I didn't even know about until we have it now. And it's so great. And this community now is like on the cutting edge of biohacking and next level wellness. And we're all starting this journey like right now together with these new products that were launched at convention a couple weeks ago.
I love it. And I just want to emphasize that we have really two different types of communities. We have one set of community, which is just people who are passionate about natural things and love oils and are part of that customer group.
Yeah, that's
really
the vast majority. That's like the biggest organization. I mean, that's the biggest community that we have, is just people that like the product, use the product, and that's it.
Yeah. And then there are, a handful of people, 20% of people that are part of that.
Maybe not even that much.
Yeah. People that are doing podcasts like this, people that are leaders in the health and wellness industry, people who are entrepreneurs who want to have their own business, that are out there educating and talking about how to live this natural lifestyle, like Jim and myself. So don't feel like if you want to use oils or buy any of doTERRA products that you have to sell, because that's a common misconception, I think, with network marketing, and that is definitely not what's happening here. But
yeah, and we don't, it's like that's not how we approach things. It's like, we don't need you to, whatever.
Totally. We don't need you to do anything. We just are here to be of service and to support you of what it might look like to live your best life.
And for me, it's been amazing to see, just like, I continue to be amazed at the power of essential oils and what essential oils can do when it comes to modulating like health and helping people to find a balance. Like, as an acupuncturist, you're brainwashed. Acupuncture is everything. I mean, they don't teach you quite like that, but it's like there's a reverence with the needles. There's a certain amount of reverence with the herbal formulas. And then essential oils for me are always just something that, you might see at Whole Foods or something. But now I have even more reverence for the power of these plants and what they can do for us to bring us back into nature, bring us back into balance with ourselves, even in a lot of ways more so than the acupuncture needle. I think that, if I had to be given the choice of like, would you rather have essential oils or acupuncture needles like as your only form of healthcare from here on out, it's a no-brainer. I would take the oils, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Yeah. There's no, like, now that I've been living with them and using them for the last, 5-6 years, especially a lot more in the last 3 years, and I can understand their versatility and their breadth of what they can address when it comes to health stuff. It's not even close.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for instance, and this is what I love about how doTERRA is doing all this research. So one of the things that they showed at convention, so there's a new line out called MetaPWR. And one of the hallmarks of this line is its ability to regulate blood sugar spikes. So it's a product, it's an essential oil blend in particular that helps to stunt any kind of like blood sugar spikes that might happen. And what they also see is that fat cells become less fat. So it's a way of disrupting some of the accumulation of fat cells. It can turn fast carbs into slow carbs, and there's like all of this amazing stuff that's going on in the body. But they did this research where they started with one particular oil blend, and they tested it on its activity with fat cells, and it did well. And so they were like, well, if that did that well, then surely if we add more oils and do more things, it's going to be even better. And the results of that trial were it wasn't better. Actually, it was less effective with more oils and a higher dose. And so then they tweaked the original formula. They added a little bit more here, a little less there, and they found that it got far superior results. And so that's what's the MetaPWR essential oil blend now. They have it as the oil. They've got it in beadlets, they've got it in gum, they've got it in soft gels. There's lots of different ways that you can take it, like whatever gets your fancy. And what they're finding is that, using it throughout the day is going to help to regulate those blood sugars and also help to, regulate how your body is processing fat. But I love that they're doing that research, and also that it isn't necessarily about more oil. It's about understanding the balance and experimenting to see like the full power and potentiation that can happen with these essential oils.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's like it's great to be all about natural medicine and natural things. And I feel like half the time when I talk to people, they're looking at me like I have 5 heads, because they're thinking like, oh my gosh, this hippie dealing snake oil, like there's no science behind this. These people are just talking about energy and feelings and like spirit of the plant. And although I do believe that I believe in all of that, there is an element of just disbelief that I think modern society has created due to the long line of trust in the full Western medicine that has been really taken off course from natural medicine just because of political and economical interests from long time ago. So having the clinical evidence and partnering with a company that's actually providing clinical trials and science to support the claims and to support us to fully understand, hey, look, like this is grapefruit and like cinnamon. It's something that's so accessible and yet so powerful when we can actually prove like, hey, these things that have been used for thousands of years actually work, and here's why. And I just love that doTERRA is on the forefront of all the research, and I know we're going to be getting more information, especially as millions of people right now are trying this product and experiencing it, to really see what the results are in our own lives, and then also through the journals and the science that's being published.
It's so awesome. It's great. One of the things that we learned is that they touched on it last year, but it's been confirmed as they've done more research, is that doTERRA's essential oils are incredibly consistent across batch to batch, year to year. And so what this means is that if you find that 2 drops of peppermint and 1 drop of grapefruit, is like perfect for you to have homeostasis, or, helps with head tension or whatever, or you find that, 2 drops of lavender in the diffuser is the perfect dose for you to help you have a restful night's sleep, or maybe 3 drops of vetiver in a diffuser is what really helps you to stay focused, you can rest assured that the doTERRA's batch to batch, year to year bottles of vetiver or lavender or whatever is going to be like very close to the same in a way that's like a standard that like no other essential oil company can match. And that's a credit to how they source and how they bottle and like their whole processes. What that means is that like you can rest assured that if you figured out that 3 drops of vetiver is what's perfect for you, then every 3 drops, like that's not going to change because the chemical constituency is the same from, the bottle 2 years ago to the bottle today. There's like less of a like 1% deviation from that. It's bananas.
Right. And I feel like most people, like I personally don't really care about, I mean, like I care about that, but also the reason I care is just because it works. you
Right.
know, like we want people to be able to use oils in their day-to-day life to know that it's going to work every single time that they use it, when they have a headache or when they have, menstrual cramps or whatever it is, whatever that person is experiencing, that there's a solution for that. And so,
Right.
Talking about MetaPWR, the things that I've noticed the most in the last, I think I've been on it just about 2 weeks now. And I have to say, I'm honestly really surprised. The first few days that I started taking it was like, I immediately started feeling less bloated and an instant energy. Like normally in the morning, I'm not a morning person. You guys have heard that on this podcast, and I'm slow to rise, and having a morning cup of coffee or something really helps me get going. But taking the advantage in the morning has given me like mega energy boost. Like I love it.
So there's several different products that we're talking about. So the Advantage product is, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as a collagen powder, but it has NMN in it, which is basically, you described it on one of the last podcasts, but NMN is basically a precursor to the production of NAD in your cells, which is basically like the energy within your cells. So when we feel tired, when we feel sluggish, it's often because our cells have degenerated, and the powerhouse, the power plant within our cell is not functioning the way that it should, or like it did when we were 20 something. And so basically the NMN and resveratrol and the NADH are all components that are really helping your cell to function better, which is why a lot of people are experiencing way more energy, like me. I'm loving it.
Yeah, so this is like the Benjamin Button, if you will, the Benjamin Button product, which is going to activate the longevity genes. We're seeing that it's improving cognitive function. People with like aches and pains, like there's an older gentleman on our team who his family makes fun of him because he groans and grunts so much when he goes from like sitting to standing or getting up. He's always just making noises. Apparently, he doesn't make those noises anymore because his body doesn't hurt. His knees aren't creaky, and he's really noticing like his connective tissues, the tendons and ligaments and stuff, are getting stronger. We see improvement with skin with this product, and I've been feeling great. If I had to say kind of what I've noticed in a word, it's like lean. I feel leaner. I feel tighter. Like in a good way. Like I don't feel as swollen or as bloated.
For sure.
Everything just it's feeling more concentrated.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is because of the collagen. So I've never really taken collagen before, and I know that, I've heard a lot of things about it, but, me, I'm a stickler to find what's the best, and it was never clear to me what is a good collagen on the market to take. And obviously I trust everything that doTERRA does, and I love how they thoroughly explain things. But, for those of you who don't know, collagen is really the most abundant protein in the body. And basically it helps all of the tissue and connects to other tissues in your body. So that's bone, skin, muscles, tendons, cartilage. It's really everything in your body. So what's unique about this particular product is that it has 9 different types of collagen. So, and it comes from marine tripeptides. So this is important because going from knowing nothing about collagen to knowing a lot of things about collagen in the last couple of weeks, I had no idea that there are different strains of collagen and they're different sizes. And so when you are getting like just regular collagen from the store or like a liquid collagen, most of the time those are regular size molecules that your body really can't absorb. So what I love about this is that it's really eco-friendly because it ships in these little sachets, and then you add it to water. And by doing so, you only need a smaller amount of collagen to get the same results as some of those other big brands out there. So like if you're taking Vital Proteins, for example, one sachet of doTERRA is going to be the same as 30 grams of the vital proteins. But ours is only 3 grams because it's that much more potent.
Right.
Because of the
And
tripeptide formula. Exactly.
Right. It's not how much you take, it's how much can your body absorb.
Exactly. And so I just thought that was super interesting. And obviously, being a woman who's aging quickly, I'm interested in reverse aging all the things, as I think many people are interested in that out there. And I just love what this is going to do, not only for our joints and our bones, obviously, energy levels, that's important, but I'm honestly largely in it just for the vanity, not going to lie. Like, if it's going to make my face, like, lift and, age gracefully, I am all about that.
Awesome. I'm excited to see what happens with men in this product.
Yeah.
Because it's, we hear a lot of the testimonials from women, but I'm really interested in hearing from men. I'm going to predict that there's going to be an increase in like libido and we can't say necessarily testosterone, but that same, like we would call like yang qi in men. Mm-hmm. I suspect that this is going to have very much of like a yang tonifying effect on the body.
Well, it makes sense because, Corey Lindley, the president of doTERRA, he increased his VO2 max by 10%.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
And he's what, 60?
He's like
50 something?
58, 57, 58, something like that. I ran the 5K with him, and he like
smoked you.
By running the 5K with him, I mean we were in the same race, and we were next to each other at the starting line. And then it's an out and back, and he passed me coming back when I still had quite a ways to go on the out.
What about Emily? Did she smoke you too?
She passed me.
Did she pass Corey?
She did not pass Corey. Corey finished 5th in the whole thing.
In the whole thing?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, how cool to be part of a company where the president and the CEO and two of the 7 founding executives are literally beating all of the wellness advocates out there. Like,
yeah, half their age.
Half their age.
And they're at
it's like,
totally.
Like if you're talking about like people like, be a product of the product and like you want to like buy something that like the people are really behind, like, wow, like I'm so inspired by them.
Yeah.
They're in better shape than we are.
That VO2 max stat is bonkers to me because for those of you that don't know what that is, this is where the body, the basically like the heart rate, the point in the body where you stop using oxygen and you switch to an anaerobic. It goes from aerobic exercise to anaerobic exercise. Mm-hmm. And so functionally, in my experience, what that feels like is it's that point when running and exercise starts to get harder, where it's like harder to take that breath. You feel like you're laboring more. If you can work with an exercise physiologist and you find out your VO2 max at what, the heart rate that goes with that, you wear your heart rate monitor and you start playing with that line. This is ideal for improving cardiovascular health. Mm-hmm. And for athletes and runners, like this line is everything. Mm-hmm. And it's challenging to move that, to mm-hmm. change, to improve that function. But basically what happens is that the higher you can make your VO2 max, the more efficient your body is. Mm-hmm. The better you are at using oxygen, the better your engine is running. And so for him to have noticed a 10% increase, and he's already like athletic and training and doing all the things, to notice a 10% increase after whatever it was 2 months of taking this product, that got my attention. Still gets my attention.
Well, I noticed it the other day in yoga. Like, for those of you who are yogis out there, like the point where you just go to child's pose because you're like, I'm done. that is your breaking point with the VO2 max. And I started teaching at a hot yoga studio here, and I've been practicing there every so often, but man, like the heat, I haven't done that in a while, and like going to a power yoga class, whew, it's like a real thing. And I've found myself in child's pose many, many, many times in the practices that I've gone to. And I went to a class, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I like crushed the whole class. And it was so weird because I was like, it was a hard class too. Like, it was not just and your average like vinyasa yoga class. Like it was a hard power yoga class. Every time I looked between my legs, like half of the class was just laying on their backs. Like they had hit their point. And I was like, when I came home, I was like, I was feeling so good about myself. I was like, I'm so strong. Like I'm killing it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it must be MetaPWR. Like I really truly think that it's the MetaPWR, because like, to be honest, like I haven't been practicing more yoga. Like I don't feel like I'm in better if anything, I've been doing less. Like I don't think I'm in better shape now than I was before, but I have been taking MetaPWR.
Awesome.
I'm so excited about that.
So cool. And we're only 2 weeks into our little trial here.
I
It's
know.
pretty amazing.
And I've already lost some weight too. It's crazy.
Yeah. The third, I know I've lost weight too. I've lost like, I don't know what it is, like 3 or 4 pounds.
Yeah, me too.
And when I exercised the other day, I did like a whole other round that I would normally do.
Yeah, cool.
And that's what's so cool is like I'm approaching this with like, I don't want to do things differently. Like I'm going to still eat the same way. I'm not going to implement like some all brand new diet plan, but I am going to listen to my body. And so I've been doing that where it's like, okay, I didn't like set out to be like, I'm going to work out hard today. But as I was in the workout, I was like, oh, I can go more. I can feel good. Like this is great. And so that's like really fascinating to me. And so and sometimes like with the diet, I was like, well, I'm not as hungry, instead of eating 3 or 4 pieces of pizza, I'll have 2, and it's like, but it's not because I'm trying to cut back. It's just, I'm listening to my body, and it's like, no, I don't want any more. And so like the fact that I've been doing that and that I've dropped whatever it is, 4 pounds already in 2 weeks is pretty awesome. Cause again, I'm not trying to lose weight.
Right.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I could use it.
I don't know.
When we moved here, either like our new dryer shrank every single piece of clothing that I had, or I've gotten bigger.
No, what I think it is that, well, look, when you're in a chronic state of stress and like you're just hustling and running around, like your body is operating like in starvation mode. Like you're in a full limbic state. When I met you, you were in a full limbic state for like
a lot of things going on
in your life. And now we're like, our life is awesome.
Well, I was also walking like 4 miles a day in New York.
Yeah.
And I worked out like every afternoon pretty much. 5 days a week I was working out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things.
And then a lot of stress. I'll put it all together.
Going through divorce.
That means you hit
flying to Miami.
Skinny
to see
AF.
Flying to Chicago to see Wyatt.
Your breakup weight is very different than your actual weight. Anyone who's broken up knows what happens.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Awesome. So the let's talk about like what I think might actually be my favorite product in the whole thing. The collagen is dope, but the one I'm most excited about and the thing that I think is going to help the most people like immediately is the metabolic assist.
Mm-hmm.
So the metabolic assist is a pill that you're going to take with your biggest meal of the day. You can, if you are having a hard time regulating your blood sugar, or if you're like really overweight, you can certainly take, one with like a couple of different meals. But for most of us, we're just going to take one a day with your biggest meal, and it's going to decrease that post-meal glucose spike. And so if you're wearing a continuous glucose monitor, or you're just like tuned into your body and you recognize that when I eat certain foods, I start to feel like I'm on a roller coaster of like this super high rush and then the drop that happens later on. What we're finding is that those blood sugar spikes are arguably the most damaging thing that your body can go through on a cellular level. It's going to accelerate the aging process. So when we can flatten out those curves and take it from a really exciting roller coaster to like a very boring, as close to flatline experience as possible, that's optimal for your health here. And this metabolic assist, primarily the main ingredient is mulberry leaf, is being shown to like take fast acting carbs and slow that down so that your body is able to metabolize it in like a healthy, sustainable way without subjecting you to these crazy highs and lows.
It's amazing. I definitely noticed that I hit those highs and lows with food for sure. Like if anyone, after you eat lunch, you have that like you need a coffee at 3 p.m. Like this is the exact product that is going to help sustain you through the afternoon and keep that energy, which I don't think I've had like in definitely maybe when I was a teenager or something that I could sustain that. But I think I even had those crashes when I was a teenager. I'm living my best life right now.
Ah, yeah, it's awesome. I didn't even realize that I was having those highs and lows because it's rare that I would get like that afternoon want to take a nap. But once I started taking this and that kind of like roller coaster for my body stopped,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what have I been doing to myself?
Well, you've been aging yourself. That's what you've been
I've
doing.
been aging, and so now we're working on turning back the clock with that. But this kind of, for me, like, it was so obvious from even the first one of these that I took that it was having such a powerful effect on regulating how my body is processing the food that I'm eating,
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, oh, this shit's amazing.
Totally. What I think is amazing is that right within the same time period, we have a friend who is a chocolate maker, and he sent us 28 pounds of chocolate.
Yeah.
And also, we have friends that brought us over these delicious apple donuts from this farm that's like,
The apple cider fall donuts.
yeah, they're like,
Cinnamon sugar.
apparently it's a Midwest thing. I've never experienced them before.
You never had one like that?
No, I've never had an apple donut before.
Oh, dude.
I know. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So what I noticed that was so interesting, because I don't normally have donuts or chocolate. I mean, sometimes chocolate around the house, but not 28 pounds of it. Oh my gosh. We have not been eating 28 pounds of chocolate, but you know, I've
Not
been
yet.
indulging. Like I had 2 donuts the other day, and you know, I've been
I had
nibbling.
6.
I've been nibbling on some chocolates, but I took the assist. And normally, you know, I'm pretty sensitive to gluten. Like if I have it, like the next day, I do feel more. I almost feel like I'm hungover. Like I feel very lethargic. I get super bloated. Like Jim jokes with me, and I pretend like I'm like 6 months pregnant. It's like it's a whole thing. And I didn't
It's
have
a gluten baby.
It's a gluten baby, but I didn't have those strong reactions after when I took the assist before. So that's freaking amazing.
It's pretty wild.
And the whole time I'm just thinking about, oh, the ingredients inhibit fat cell maturation. Like I'm eating this donut and it's inhibiting fat cell maturation.
I can eat anything and it
Yeah.
won't affect me.
Not saying that you should use this as an excuse to eat things that are not good for you, but also like I'm kind of curious. Like, am I going to gain weight? Am I going to stay
Yeah.
the same? Like, you know, how do I feel when I'm eating just, you know, like a normal life and not being like on a super strict diet at all? Like, how is this product affecting me?
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've been maybe even like almost overindulging in some sweets a little bit just to see.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying.
Kind of put
Like
it
I
to the
wanted to
test.
eat, like I'd probably normally eat half a donut.
Yeah,
I ate 2 donuts and took an assist just
you
to see.
did.
I ate 2 donuts.
You're reckless.
Have you ever seen me eat 2 donuts?
No.
Yeah, but I felt great the next day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Power of the donut.
yeah. Wait, it was the day before I went to yoga. Maybe the donuts helped me.
Did you ever see that Simpsons episode? That Simpsons episode where Homer's like, God, if you want me to eat this donut, give me absolutely no sign.
That makes it really easy to say yes, right? Oh my goodness
Homer for
gracious.
the win.
That's hysterical.
Homer would love this stuff. Yeah. So,
Homer would benefit from it.
yeah.
Think about how awesome the world would be if Homer Simpson lived forever and felt awesome.
Well, he does. He's not aging, so he's got that going for
Well,
him.
he's a cartoon character.
So that's the whole line. So we've got the essential oil blend, which is awesome, which is going to help to disrupt that fat cell maturation and decrease cravings. And so that essential oil is going to come in the oil blend, like just the oil that we like, that we've come to know and love. Little beadlets that are great when you're on the go. It comes in a gum if you're a gum chewer. And then also in soft gels. So if you don't like the taste and you want to just swallow the oils that way, you can bypass the taste buds and do it that way. I actually love the way it tastes. I've been putting it in my water. I've been taking it neat. Like, I'm totally into it. I think it's great. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think it is great. And so nice, like, you know, I was encouraging everyone on Instagram the other day, just throw away like your other breath mints. Like if you have Listerine strips or like
Oh, do people actually use that shit?
Altoids. Oh yeah, people use all that stuff.
Oh.
Gum, like if you're eating icebreakers or whatever those things are, just throw all that stuff away. It's got horrible ingredients in it, and just switch over to the MetaPWR beadlets. They taste amazing. Your breath is going to be fresh, and you're going to kill fat cells. It's like, why wouldn't you want to do that? It makes no sense. And you can chew a gum. You can have beadlets or a gum.
Yeah, do it. So we've got all those, and then we've got the collagen, which comes in the little sachets, the daily sachets, which is great. Cuts down on shipping costs, and more importantly, means the collagen isn't activated until you're ready to consume it, which is ideal.
Yeah, and the shipping is a thing because doTERRA is going carbon neutral by 2030.
Totally.
Yeah, not like shipping costs for like...
Not like for us, but like the environmental
impact
cost. And then the metabolic assist, which is going to be that one you take with your biggest meal of the day. And then there you have it. You're going to do this for 30 days, and you're going to tell us all the things about how great you feel. So here's something cool that we're doing with this too. So some of you may know that I'm at the tongue guy on TikTok, and I started off like looking at Chinese medicine tongues, and that was like the start of my little page there. And the whole premise of that in Chinese medicine is that your tongue looks a certain way. It gives us a snapshot as to how you're doing right now. And then as we make appropriate changes, your tongue should start to look closer to healthy, if not all the way to healthy, as you are like correcting your body's imbalances. So what I've asked people to do when they start taking this product is let's throw a tongue challenge into this as well. Take a picture of your tongue as it is now, or day one when you get started. And then let's take pictures of the tongue throughout, but especially like at the 30-day mark. And let's see if there are any changes. I'm really curious to find out if people are going to have like noticeable and substantial changes in the way their tongue looks. We would expect it to absolutely happen because if people are feeling good and noticing such a big change, we would expect the tongue to look a lot better.
Yeah, and it's not just the tongue too. Like, I'm curious what people's faces look like. What does your body look like? Let's, we're doing this as a group, as a community, starting on October 17th. So for those of you that are feeling inspired and excited by this, you can go ahead and order all of the products now, reach out to us and we can help you do that. Or if you just head to my Instagram, you can get the direct link in my bio. I'm not sure what Jim's TikTok is all set up with, but
yeah, go to Jen's page.
It's probably easier. And
at Jennifer Panza.
Yeah, and then just shoot us a message that you got the kit so that we can plug you into all of the resources and the community, because it's way more fun when we do things together. So
totally.
We've been getting a lot of questions on like what times of day, like what's the exact routine with all of this. And so I just want to lay out a really simple, like, what do I do? When do I do it? For those of you that are interested, so you can just visualize it and understand what you're doing if you're getting it. So
Bam.
The first thing you want to do is when you wake up in the morning, imagine filling yourself up a beautiful, delicious, cold glass of water. And, well, it doesn't have to be cold. It could be room temperature.
Easy there. Yeah, exactly.
Because cold for me is room temperature. So it could also be warm water. And you're going to put 1 to 2 drops of that essential oil in the water. Okay. Now, when you are then starting the rest of your morning, I've been taking the Advantage Shake in the morning. This is something that I have been finding the best for me. I have been experimenting with some other times throughout the day, but I'm finding that I like the morning the best. If you are over the age of 40, 45, 50, you might want to actually try doing the collagen powder at night, 5 to 8 ounces of water, and then go ahead and drink it at night. I've been doing it in the morning. So after I do that essential oil with water, then I do my Advantage Shake. Then I usually have breakfast. Like, I've actually, interestingly enough, become more hungry in the morning, which hasn't happened to me before. Normally, I don't like to eat anything in the morning, but I think with the shake activating my metabolism, I'm eating more. So I'll eat breakfast, and then typically lunch is my biggest meal of the day. So I'll take the metabolic assist, which is the pill, before lunch. And then throughout the day, I'm taking the beadlets, I'm taking the gum. If I'm getting a really strong sugar craving, I'll take one of those capsules. And I'm just basically using those oil products throughout the day. So shake in the morning for anyone that feels good with that, or if you're in the older category, you want to take that shake at night. And throughout the day, you want to be drinking tons of water.
Yeah, so I started taking the collagen shake in the afternoon, and I switched to the evening. And so far, I'm enjoying the evening time.
Yeah. So you got to kind of find what works best for you.
There can be some detox that happens as you're going through this. So we're talking about, like, one of the ways that it's been explained is your fat cells can get really congested. They start storing, like, think of your fat cells like a pack rat. It just starts storing all sorts of shit. It's a hoarder. And what these products are doing is they help to cleanse the fat cells. So they're not like getting a fat cell to totally disappear, but they're making it less mature. So they're basically like Marie Kondoing your fat cells. They're getting rid of this excess hoarding. And the fat cells tend to store like heavy metals and a lot of toxins, a lot of junk. And so as the body is like getting rid of this stuff, there can be a bit of a detox reaction that happens, which can look like, fatigue, headaches, breakouts, like skin things,
gas,
just like
bloating.
Yeah, there's like all sorts of stuff that can happen. And I get excited when that stuff happens because it's like it shows you that your body's doing something, that the products are working. But it can be a little uncomfortable. And so that's where you might want to experiment with what the routine and the dosages are that work best for you. So I started taking the shake in the afternoon. And then for a couple of days, I started noticing like an unusual amount of fatigue in the afternoon. And then that's when I was hearing that people are switching to taking it at night. And so I've done that the last couple of days, and I've been feeling like great all day, which is awesome. Some people are going to start off better with like half of a packet of the collagen instead of the whole one. It really, context matters, guys. Like, if you've listened to this podcast, you know that I talk about this all the time. Context matters. And so the context for you may be different than somebody else. If you're 400 pounds, your approach might be very different. It will be very different than somebody who's like 115 pounds and a marathoner.
Right. And so that's where the community aspect comes in, and why we're so excited to do this, because we want everyone who is experiencing this system for the first time to feel really supported. And if you do have something that comes up, that you can have someone to talk to about it and be a part of a group as someone that's like, oh yeah, I felt weird and then I drank water and I felt better, or whatever it is, so that you know that you're not alone in this process, and to celebrate the wins as your body does start to change and evolve. And sometimes that process, just like when you haven't worked out in a while, the first time you work out sucks. Like, it is not fun. Like, it's sweating, it hurts, like it smells bad probably. It's like, it's a lot of things. And so there is that, if you haven't been detoxing your cells, there is the possibility that you're going to experience some of that, but it's not a bad thing. It's just a awareness, and that we get to do it together as a group.
Totally. So there you have it, guys. That's the quick rundown. We didn't even talk about the new oils. We just talked about the MetaPWR system.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing
There's a whole bunch of new stuff that's coming out.
The shampoo bar is the best.
Oh yeah, they've got a shampoo bar and conditioner. It's like, I've never washed my hair with a bar before. It's like,
it's awesome.
It's so great. I can't believe how good the shampoo and conditioner is.
I really like it.
The conditioner is crazy.
And I'm a snob.
Totally.
So, you know what's so funny? I like it so much that the days I haven't been washing my hair, I've just been using the shampoo as like bar soap.
What are you doing?
It smells so good. And other fun fact, I started using the conditioner bar as to shave my legs.
Oh.
I'm going to tell everybody.
Look at you.
It's amazing. Like, my legs feel so hydrated. I don't know. I'm always doing weird
totally
things.
know that feeling when I shave my legs,
but it smells
too.
so good. I don't know if I'll ever go back to regular shampoo conditioner.
Why would you? This is so nice.
I mean, I like to have both, so I'll probably keep both, but...
Great. More clutter for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like all the things, all the products.
All right.
As long as it smells
time
good.
for us to wrap this up. All right, guys, you know how to find us. Reach out to us if you have questions or you want to get started on this health journey with us. October 17th is when we're starting off the team challenge, but you can certainly get started before then and jump in whenever you like. Thanks so much for being here.
Yay, we're so excited for your health journey.
Woohoo! All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and we will catch you next time.